All right, ready? Number one, just find the volume of the cylinder in terms of pi. Right now they give us all the information we need. We just have to give them the answer with the pi in it. So the volume of the cylinder, area of the base times the height, which would be pi 5 squared times 14. You can do this two different ways. You can multiply it all out in your head, or you can multiply it out in the calculator and then change the answer from there. How'd y'all do it? Calculator. So you would do pi 5 squared times 14. The volume as a decimal is 1099, but it wants the answer in terms of pi. So you just divide it by pi. And it says that it should be 350 pi's. So the answer is 350 pi's, the volume of that shape. Make sure you have the correct answers. Our units, 350 pi inches cubed. Or the decimal 1099, they mean the exact same thing, and it's multiple choice, so you can change them however you need to. Find the lateral surface area of this pyramid. So it is 1/2 PL. The perimeter of the base would be 42 plus 42 plus 42 plus 42, or 168. And we have to calculate the slanted height. From the edge of the square base to the center would be 21 units long. It is 38 units from the base to the vertex, so we can use Pythagorean theorem to solve for L, the slanted height, or that other side of the right triangle right there. I'll use my calculator, the square root of a squared plus b squared. And it says that the slanted height is 43.1, 43.4. So if I go back to my paper, I have 1/2 the slanted, or 1/2 the perimeter of the base times the slanted height. 1/2 the perimeter of the base times that number, the slanted height. And it says that the surface area, the lateral surface area of that shape is 3,646.99. Do the instructions say nearest whole unit? Nearest whole number, so 3,647. Yards squared, because it is a surface area. Yeah, I mean 3,647, whole number. But you have multiple choice. So as long as your answer is close to the one they gave you multiple choice wise, you should be okay. To find the volume of this square pyramid. So we talked earlier, the volume of the square pyramid is area of the base times the height. So this is area of the square base, 121, times the height of the pyramid from apex to the base, which is 15. So area of the base times the height, all that divided by 3. That gives you the volume of the square pyramid, and it says round to the nearest tenth if necessary. I like to control divide 121 times 15, all that divided by 3. 605 perfectly. I don't have to round anything. 605 centimeters squared. Nope, cubed. The area of the base, 11 times 11 is 121. Find the volume of this prism. Again, this is just area of the base times the height. So I have to calculate the area of the base for this triangle. To calculate the area of a base or the area of a triangle, it is 1/2 the base times the height. So you have to do 1/2 of 1 times 2. And 1/2 of 1 times 2 is 1. So the area of the base is 1. The height is 17. 1 times 17 is 17. So the volume of this triangular pyramid is 17 meters cubed. So 17 cubic meters. Okay, your whole test. Formula, plug, chug, calculate. Formula, plug, chug, calculate. Find the surface area of the cone in terms of pi. So everything, multiply by everything but the pi, or you can multiply it all out as a decimal and take the pi out at the end. So it's pi RL. I have an R value and I have an L value. So we just plug those numbers in where they're supposed to go. Pi RL plus pi R squared. If I multiply 3 times 17, you get 51 pi. 3 squared is 9 pi. So when I add those two numbers together, 51 plus 9 is 60 pi centimeters squared. Okay, that's just doing all the small pieces at once. If you have pi 3 times 17 plus pi 3 squared, you can do that in your calculator. Pi 3 times 17 plus pi 3 squared. It will give you a decimal answer, 188, and you can take the pi out to see what the answer is in terms of pi. You still get the same number. Those two numbers are the exact same thing, 60 pi and 188. 60 pi centimeters squared. Describe that. Square, rectangle, quadrilateral, anything but triangle, circle, pentagon. Okay. Find the volume of this guy. Any trouble with this one? Just length times width times height, or area of the base times the height. So you had to find, bless you.
Thank you.
Find the area of the base, 14.6 times 5.8. Huh? 84.68, and then that quantity times the height of it times 7.8. 660.504, and it says round to the nearest tenth, so 660.5. Cubed, cubic centimeters. Thank you. Cubic centimeters. Find the volume of the composite figure round to the nearest whole number. So the biggest issue here is knowing what you're seeing. What about this shape right here? What you'll get for a volume of that shape? That would be length times width times depth, or length times width times height. 5 times 8 is 140. 40, and 40 times 3 is 120. So this one has a volume of 120 cubic centimeters. Now if you do length times width times height, it'd be 2 times 5 times 6. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 times 6 is 60. Add those two together, you get 180 cubic centimeters for a composite volume. The volume of the sphere. Any trouble with this one? Round to the nearest whole number. The only issue here is this is a diameter, and we need a radius, 5.5. 4 pi 4 pi r cubed divided by 3, 697. 697. Okay, it says round to the nearest whole number, so 697. Just by taking the r variable out and putting in 5.5. Just make sure you guys are using the correct exponent, not squared, but cubed. Find the volume of this cone. The diameter of the bottom is 18, which means the radius is 9. So area of the base, pi r squared, times the height of the cone, divided by 3. So it's pi 9 squared times 26. All that divided by 3 will give you the volume of the cone. Pi 9 squared times 26. All of that divided by 3. 2,205.4. 2,205.4. Meters cubed because it is a volumetric measurement. The lateral surface area of this one, that's just pi RL. Remember that this is a diameter measurement, so you cut that number in half and you get 30. Then it becomes a multiple of a 3, 4, 5 right triangle, and I know that this number is 50. Or you could have calculated doing a squared plus b squared equals c squared, and it should have spit out 50. So that means that your L value is 50. So pi RL to calculate the lateral surface area. Pi RL. I think that's 1,500 pi, or something pretty close to like 4,500. I don't know. It doesn't say C. Pi RL. 4,712. Nearest whole number, 4,712. Meters squared. Find the surface area of the cylinder in terms of pi. So this one wants you to leave it as a pi answer. It is 2 pi RH plus 2 pi r squared. So take the information, plug it in where it's supposed to go. 2 pi RH plus 2 pi r squared. I would venture to guess most of you guys will do all of that work in the calculator and then convert it at the end. So let's try that. 2 pi RH plus 2 pi r squared. That's your decimal equivalent, 1,583, and it wants it in terms of pi, so divided by pi, 504 pi's. That would be the answer that is correct, 504 pi's. .504 pi inches squared. Find the surface area of a sphere. Leave your answer in terms of pi. If your radius is 60, it's going to be a really big number. 4 pi r squared. That's 4 times pi times 3,600. And that's 3,000 times 3,600. You can still use your calculator to do that. 4 pi 60 squared. That is the number, and you can divide it by pi, and it'll give you that 14,400 number. Make sure you put your units 14,400 pi meters squared. Mario's company is making unusually shaped imitation gemstones. A gemstone has 10 faces and it has 11 vertices. How many edges does it have? This is where you just solve. I think we already did this one. Subtract 2 from both sides. And E equals 19. So there's 19 edges of that polyhedron. And that's pretty much all we know. We don't know what shape it is. We just know it has 10 faces, 11 vertices, and 19 edges. Cylinder A has a radius of 1 and a height of 4. Cylinder B has a radius of 2 and a height of 4. What is their ratio of volumes? You want me to try this one? So you have cylinder A. The volume of first cylinder is base times height. This is cylinder A. So cylinder A has a radius of 1 and a height of 4. It's pi 1 squared times 4. Area of the base times the height. And we'll just call that 4 pi. Cylinder B has a radius of 2 and a height of 4. So cylinder B is going to be equal to pi 2 squared times 4. 2 squared is 4, and 4 times 4 is 16. So it wants to know how do you compare those two things? You could say cylinder B has a volume 4 times bigger than cylinder A, or cylinder A has a volume 4 times as small as cylinder B. So that's just using the information that they give you and calculating and comparing both of those things. That's the last one. So it'll be one of those dimension change questions on your test. Pretty close to what you're going to see tomorrow. I really encourage you guys to have a formula chart when you get here and know what it looks like.